Happy birthday to the late legendary Static Major and legendary R&B singer John B. And happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans that have served our country. We want to thank you. This is X-Man 1991 here. I'm coming to you back with another video. We're going to be revealing another top 50, top 100, or top 200 lists. So last week, we revealed the top 50 best New York rappers. And like I said, that list was ass. Because the New York rappers that were ranked low should have been higher. And some of the New York rappers that were ranked high should be low. And I'm still mad that we had some New York rappers that were missing on that list. The top 10 best New Jersey rappers list that we revealed last week was much better than that top 50 best New York rappers list. So this week we're going to be revealing the top 50 best hip hop albums of all time from Consequence of Sound. Oh, the reason why I'm wearing my Crash Nitro Kart Cash Team Racing Nitro Fuel shirt is because today is the 20th anniversary of Crash Nitro Kart. I'm going to go play that game after I'm done with this video. And then I'll come back later to do an Attitude Era video reminiscing 24 years of an 8-man Survivor Series elimination tag team match between D-Generation X, the New Age Outlaws, Triple H and X-Pac versus The Rock, Shane McMahon, Kane, and the late Test, with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the special enforcer from the Veterans Day 1999 edition of SmackDown. The day before Mike, Lou, and Og and Courage the Cowardly Dog premiered on Cartoon Network. And that was the last SmackDown before the 1999 Survivor Series. And of course, that was Stone Cold's last appearance on SmackDown before he took 10 months off due to his neck injury. And because he got ran over at Survivor Series, we all know that. So here it is, Consequence of Sound's top 50 best hip hop albums of all time. So we're going to get right into it. I know this was from August, but we're going to read it. This month marks the 50th anniversary of hip hop. While the official birthday is August 11, 2023, hold on. We will be commemorating 5 decades of this culture-defining movement with a long-month celebration. From unique artist interviews to insightful essays and more, we'll explore the history of rap from a variety of angles. It all begins with our list of the 50 best hip-hop albums of all time. You can also check out our list of the top 50 best hip-hop songs of all time. That's the next list we're going to be revealing next week. The top 50 best hip-hop. Oh, we did that already. That's right, we did that on Halloween. Revealed the top 50 best hip-hop songs list. And that list, it was all right, but there were some songs that were ranked low, should have been high. And there were some songs on that list that were missing. So let's get right into it. This top 50 best hip hop albums of all time. So we start the list off at number 50, the most overrated rapper of all time, Lil Wayne, with his album The Carter 2. Now, The Carter 2 is actually decent. It is Wayne's best album. Definitely. It got some bangers on there, like Fireman. I thought Go DJ, That's My DJ, was on this list, or on the album, but it's on the first Carter album. And I'm not sure if I will put this album in my top 50 best hip hop albums list, in my list. It being at 50, I guess. Even though you all know I'm not a fan of Lil Wayne. Yeah, but this is Wayne's best album, The Carter 2. Foxy Brown, Il Nana, number 49. This album should be much higher. It should be like in the top 10. It's not really Foxy's best album. Her best album is her second album, China Doll. But this album got some hits. It's a classic. It has songs like Get Me Home, Big Bad Mama, which is a sample of Carl Carlton's She's a Bad Mama Jamma, and of course, I'll Be Good. And it has great guest appearances from Blackstreet, Kid Capri, Havoc from Mobb Deep, and the song that Havoc is featured on, he also produced it. Method Man is on that album, and of course Jay-Z. But yeah, Foxy Brown Il Nana, and she was already an adult when she released this album. She was still a minor when she first got signed to Def Jam. Wow, and I was 5 years old in kindergarten when Foxy Brown released the Il Nana album. I was only 5 years old when this album came out in 1996. In kindergarten. But yeah, this album should be much higher. Foxy Brown Il Nana was number 48. Jeezy, Thug Motivation 101. Jeezy, he's all right, but he's never been that dope to me. So I guess I'm okay with this album being at 48. Thug Motivation 101 from Jeezy. It has that song Soul Survivor with Akon. But anyway, what's 47? Gang Starr Hard to Earn. This album should be a little bit higher or much higher in the top 10. It's my favorite Gang Starr album, Hard to Earn. And I have this album too, even though Moment of Truth, in my opinion, is their best album. Of course, it has that song Mass Appeal and DWYCK. And this was Gang Starr's first hip hop album, their first album with a parental advisory sticker. Definitely. Was number 46. Kid Cudi, Man of the Moon, The End of Day. Kid Cudi, he's okay, but I would not put this album over Gang Starr or Foxy Brown. Anyway, let's go to the next artist. 45. Nicki Minaj, The Pink Print. I would damn sure would not put this over Gang Starr or over Foxy Brown. Was 44. 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. You all know this album should definitely be in the top 10. This album was big when it first came out in 2003. And of course, I have this album, 50 Get Rich or Die Trying. Of course, it has songs like In the Club, his biggest hit. Wangsta is on this album, as well as Your Life's on the Line. Back Down is on the album. PIMP, Pimp. Pimp is on, PIMP is on the album. 21 Questions is on this album. If I Can't is on this album. Like My Style is on this album. This album got nothing but bangers. It should definitely be a little bit higher. Shout out to 50. Congrats on 20 years of Get Rich or Die Trying. This is another album that should be higher on the list. Ghetto Boys, We Can't Be Stopped. My Boys from Houston, Scarface, Willie D, and Bushwick Bill. And the album cover is dope. It has Bushwick Bill on a wheelchair or the hospital bed. We all know what happened to Bushwick Bill. He got shot in the right eye during that argument with his girlfriend. And this album cover is dope. And it's the Ghetto Boys' best album. It has that hit single, My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. Dope ass album cover. Definitely. Shout out to Scarface and Willie D. Rest in peace to Bushwick Bill. I would put this album in my top 10. Why y'all put it at number 43? That's too low. 42. J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I actually like this album from J. Cole. Definitely. So I'm okay with it. I think it should be in the top 15. Yeah, this album from J. Cole's nice. 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Cypress Hill, Black Sunday, number 41. This album should be a little bit higher too. Even though I'm not a big Cypress Hill fan, but this is actually a good album. 40, Raising Hell by Run DMC. This album should be much higher too. It should be in the top 20. It has songs like Walk This Way and You Rockin' My Adidas. even though I'm a Nike guy. I love Adidas, but I'm more of a Nike guy. And of course, it has "Is Trick to Rock Around to Rock Around." That's right on time. It's Tricky. And "You Be Illin'." And the Peter Piper picked peppers for Run Rock Rhymes. Humpty Dumpty fell down because it's hard time. This album should be much higher. Why the hell y'all put it at number 40? It should be in the top 20. Raising Hell by Run DMC. Eve Scorpion at number 39. It has the songs "Who's That Girl" and "Let Me Blow Your Mind" with Gwen Stefani. This album should be a little bit higher. I'll put it in the top 20 as well. Juvenile 400 Degrees, I would definitely put this album higher on the list. And they put it at number 38. It's been 25 years since Juvie released this album. This album got a number of bangers like "High" and of course "Back That Ass Up." Clean version, "Back That Thing Up." Juvenile 400 Degrees should be higher. 38 is too low. Same with 37. Jizza, Liquid Swords. That album should be higher too. It's definitely one of the best Wu-Tang solo albums. It definitely has that song with Meth, "Shadowboxing." It's my favorite song off the album. But the whole album is my favorite. Lil' Kim, "Hardcore." This should be a little bit higher too at number, I put it in the top 25. And my dad still has this album, Lil' Kim, "Hardcore." And tomorrow is the anniversary, 27 years. And it still bugs me that Lil' Kim fucked up her face with those plastic surgeries. This album cover, she looked gorgeous back in the 90s and the early 2000s. But look at her now. Like I said last week, she looks more Asian now. What's number 35? J Dilla, "Donuts." Yes, I definitely like this album, J Dilla, "Donuts." He released this album on his actual birthday, 3 days before his death. Him and my cousin have the same birthday, and J Dilla died 3 days after she was born. Rest in peace to J Dilla. Mobb Deep, "The Infamous." This album should be in the top 5 or top 10. 34, that's too damn low. And I have this album, Mobb Deep, "The Infamous." It has songs like "Shook Ones Part 2, "Give Up the Goods," "Survival of the Fittest," "Temperature Rising," "Right Back at You," "Eye for an Eye," "Up North Trip," "Start from the Ending," "Party Over." Come on, this album got nothing but bangers. It should be in the top 5 or top 10. Why y'all got it at number 34? What the hell's wrong with you, Consequence of Sound? Come on. Shout out to Havoc and rest in peace to Prodigy. This album should be in the top 5 too or top 10. Death Certificate, 33. And hands down, bar none, this is Ice Cube's best album. It has songs like, of course, "No Vaseline," one of the best diss tracks of all time, and "Steady Mobbin'," and "Giving Up the Nappy Dugout," "Bird in the Hand." Definitely Ice Cube's best album, bar none. Come on, this album should be much higher. I love this album. Ice Cube, Death Certificate. You put fucking Cardi B. 32. You put Cardi B. Cardi B, "Invasion of Privacy." Over Ice Cube, over Mobb Deep, over J Dilla, over Lil' Kim, over Jizza, Juvenile, Gangstar, Foxy Brown, Cypress Hill, Ghetto Boys, 50 Cent. Are you serious? What is so significant about this album? "Invasion of Privacy." You know Cardi B don't write her own lyrics. What is so significant about her damn music? I just don't get these people. They love praising the artists of today that do not write their own lyrics. I don't understand. Let's go to 31. DMX, "It's Dark and Hell is Hot." And this is X's best work. "It's Dark and Hell is Hot." Even though, and then there was X's my favorite DMX album. And I have this album too. I have X's first 5 albums, and they all hit number 1. This album got songs like "Get At Me Dog," Fucking with D, Let Me Fly, Rough Riders Anthem, Stop Being Greedy, Niggas Done Started Something, Highs Going Down, Damien. This album got nothing but bangers. It should be a little bit higher. It's a top 5 album. Rest in peace to X. Clips, Lord Willing at number 30. It's a classic, but I wouldn't rank it over DMX album. But Lord Willing by Clips is a classic. It has songs like Grinding, When the Last Time, and my favorite, Ma, I Don't Love Her. Yeah, this is actually a classic, so I'm okay with it being at 30. At 29, you're going to put bitch ass Drake, Take Care, over Clips and over DMX. Are you serious? The only song that I like from Drake's Take Care album is Headlines. And that's about it. But this album should be way lower. It should not be over the other albums that I mentioned. Come on now. Drake is not that good of a rapper. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib Pinata. I heard of Freddie Gibbs, but I never listened to this album though. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib Pinata. So I never listened to this album before, so I'm okay with it being at 28. It was 27. MC Lyte, Light as a Rock. Of course, this album should be higher too. And it's MC Lyte's debut album. It has songs like Light as a Rock and I Cram to Understand You. Yeah, this album should be much higher. Definitely. It's hard to believe that this album is 35 years old, and I wasn't even born in 1988. I was born 3 years after 1988, 1991. That's my birth year. What's 26? Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links, Criminology, Heaven and Hell, Ice Cream, Verbal Intercourse, Incarcerated Scarfaces. It's the best Wu-Tang solo album. It should be much higher than number 26. I'll put it in the top 15. So that's the second Wu-Tang solo album that's on this list. We have GZA, Liquid Swords, and Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links. What's number 25? Snoop, Doggy Style. Yes, this album should definitely be on this list. And I'm okay with it being at this number in the top 25. And it's hands down Snoop's best album. Thanksgiving Day will be 30 years since Snoop released the Doggy Style. It has songs like Who Am I, What's My Name, Gin and Juice, It Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None, and G's and Hustlers. Yep, G's and Hustlers. And not to mention, Bow Wow was on the intro of the song G's and Hustlers. That was back when he was 6 years old, back when he was known as Lil Bow Wow. But yeah, I'm okay with, Murder Was a Case was on this album. So I'm okay with Snoop's Doggy Style being at 25. 24, Queen Latifah, All Hail the Queen. Of course, it has the Ladies First. Ladies First. So, am I okay with it being at 24? I would slightly put it in the late teens in my list. Big ups to Queen Latifah. Black Star, Mos Def and Talib Kweli or Black Star 24. 1, 2, 3, Mos Def and Talib Kweli. They shot Tupac and Biggie. Too much violence in hip hop. Why-oh? Yeah. I will put it in the late teens as well. Definitely one of the best albums from the year 1998. 25 years. This album came out the same day as Outkast, Aquemini, Jay-Z, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, and A Tribe Called Quest, The Love Movement. And Tyrese debut self-titled album was released on the same day as the 4 albums that I just mentioned. Pusha T, Daytona, I wouldn't put it over Mos Def and Talib Kweli. But yeah, I would put this album a little bit low. Pusha T, Daytona. 21, Salt-N-Pepa, Very Necessary. As those songs Shoop and What a Man. So I would put it a little bit high, at least put it in like 11, 12, 13 in my list. What's in the top 20? Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. It's an overrated album, but it's a good album. And it's not Eminem's best album. The Eminem Show is. Of course, it has songs like Kill You, which is his best song that put him on the map. Bitch Please Part 2, The Real Slim Shady, Stan, and The Way I Am. And this album does age very well. It's overrated, but it's a good album. Even though they should have put the Eminem Show on this list. And I do have this album too. Number 19, De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. Okay. Yeah, it should be a little bit higher, but almost 35 years later, you could still listen to this album and still have a good time. And this album, 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul, wasn't about no gangster rap or anything like that. It was just, partying and have a good time. So if you have not listened to this album, I highly recommend this to you. This album wasn't available on streaming services until March of this year, a month after Trucoy the Dove's death. The reason why it wasn't on streaming services is because of sampling clearances and label disputes, but I'm glad it's now available on streaming services. Continue to rest in peace, Trucoy. 18. Number 18 should be high on this list. Paid in Full, Airbnb and Rakim. Y'all gonna put it this damn low at 18? This is a top 5 album in my list. Well, first things first, Rakim, one of the best rappers of all time, one of the most impactful rappers, one of the most important rappers, one of the most influential rappers. And you got artists from hip hop and rock music still using his lines. You got people like Limp Bizkit using Rakim's rhymes. That's how influential he is. Come on, Paid in Full should be in the top 5. It's too low at number 18. It has songs like I Ain't No Joke and of course Paid in Full. Come on, this album should be much higher. Mad Villain, Mad Villainy, MF Doom, and Mad Lynn. It's a good album, but I wouldn't put it this high. I would put it like in the top 25. But it's still a good album though. Biggie Ready to Die at 16. Wow, that low. This is also a top 5 album. It's one of the best albums of the 1990s and one of the best albums of all time. Biggie was one of the first artists to be signed with Bad Boy. Ready to Die got nothing but bangers like Machine Gun Funk, Things Done Change, Juicy, of course, Gimme the Loot, One More Chance, Suicidal Thoughts, Respect, Unbelievable, The What with Method Man, Everyday Struggle, Me and My Bitch, Big Papa. This album got nothing but bangers. It should be high on this list. Come on now. Fugees to Score at 15. Okay. I can see it in the top 15. Definitely has songs like Ready or Not and Fuji La and Killing Me Softly. Definitely. I can see it in the top 15. Okay. 14. Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique. This is definitely Beastie Boys' best album. Even though their first album, License to Ill, was dope, Paul's Boutique was their best album. I was listening to this album, the song Shadrach, the other day. And that song go hard. I could definitely see it in the top 15. Paul Boutique by the Beastie Boys. Definitely. What's number 13? Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Live my life as a thug nigga till the day I die. Live my life as a boss player cause even getting high. I knew they was going to put Tupac, All Eyes on Me over Beastie Boys, Paul Boutique. Just like Rolling Stone did. You cannot have a top 50 best hip hop albums list without a Tupac album on it. But it would have been better if they would have put Me Against the World on here. Me Against the World is better than All Eyes on Me. The All Eyes on Me got nothing but bangers. Like Two of America's Most Wanted, Got My Mind Made Up, All About You, Hearts of Men, California Love Remix. Why the hell they put California Love Remix? They should have put the original on there. The original was better. Picture Me Rolling, Checkout Time, All Eyes on Me, Wonder Why They Call You Bitch, I'd Rather Be Your N-I-G-G-A, All Eyes on Me, Run the Streets, Shorty Wanna Be a Thug, How Do You Want It. This album got nothing but bangers. The first double disc hip hop album. And of course, I have this album too. And I also got Fugees to score. Both came out the day before Valentine's Day of 1996. Rest in peace to Tupac. What's number 12? NWA. Straight out of Compton. Crazy motherfucking name Ice Cube. From the gang called Niggas with Attitude. Yes. Honestly, this should be in the top 10. I feel like number 12 is just too low for this album. NWA Straight Out of Compton. One of the most important hip hop albums of all time. 35 years since this album came out, and I wasn't even born yet. Of course, it has songs like Straight Outta Compton, Something Like That, Gangsta Gangsta, Dope Man, Dope Man. Of course, Fuck the Police, Something to Dance to, Express Yourself. This album got nothing but bangers. This should be in the top 10. It's a classic. Rest in peace to Eazy-E. Okay, Nas Illmatic is not in the top 5. Nas Illmatic is not in the fucking top 5. Are you serious? What? Illmatic is not in the top 5. Why? Come on. This album got songs like It Ain't Hard to Tell, New York State of Mind, The World Is Yours, Life's a Bitch, Halftime, Memory Lane, Sitting in the Park, The Genesis, One Time for Your Mind, Represent, and One Love. Really? Nas Illmatic is not in the top 5. Why? Because it had a 5 mic review? I don't know why they don't never put Nas Illmatic top 5 on the best hip hop albums list. I don't understand why they don't never put it in the top 5. What do they have over Illmatic? What's in the top 10? No. Kanye, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the most overrated hip hop album of all time. But when it comes to albums in general, it's the second most overrated album of all time. The third most overrated album is Kid A by Radiohead, and the most overrated album of all time is The Clash London Calling. But this the most overrated hip hop album of all time, and you got it over Nas Illmatic. Really? Kanye, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Get the fuck out of here. This album, What's number 9? Dr. Dre 2001. It's a good album, and yes, I have this album too. Oh, not to mention, I also have Nas Illmatic. But The Chronic 2001, I wouldn't put it in my top 10. I'm sorry, it's not a top 10 album. They should switch this with Illmatic, or Straight Outta Compton, or Ready to Die, or All Eyes on Me, or Paid in Full, or Paul's Boutique. But Dr. Dre 2001 got bangers. It got bangers like The Next Episode, Forgot About Dre, Housewife, The Watcher, What's the Difference? It got bangers. But I would not put it in my top 10. I'm sorry. Number 8. The Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest. Okay, yes, I can see it definitely in the top 10. I mean, any album from A Tribe Called Quest could have been on here, like Midnight Marauders, which is my favorite, or even their first album. But this is a good choice. A Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory, I could definitely see in the top 10. Yes. 7. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, another overrated album, but it's still dope. And it's not really my favorite Jigga album. Hard Knock Life Volume 2 is. But it has songs like Can't Knock the Hustle, Brooklyn's Finest, Dead Presidents, Politics as Usual, Wow. But yeah, I would not put it in the top 10. I would put it a little low. It should not be this high. What's number 6? Outkast, Stankonia. Yes, and I have this album too. It should definitely be in the top 10. Got a number of bangers like Miss Jackson, Bombs Over Baghdad, and Oh, So Fresh, So Clean. This album got nothing but bangers. I could definitely see it in the top 10. Definitely. Let's go to the top 5. Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money. Dollar dollar bill, y'all. Yes, this definitely should be in the top 5. It's definitely a top 5 in my list. And we just celebrated the 30th anniversary of this album 2 days ago. And Midnight Marauders. Of course, this album has Cream, Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With, METHOD Man, The Method Man, Protect Your Neck, Can It Be All So Simple, Babe? Yes, yes, definitely a top 5 album. Congrats to Wu-Tang on 30 years of this classic album. What? Missy? Super Duper Fly number 4? Okay, wait. Let me get this straight. You got Missy Super Duper Fly at number 4, but Illmatic at number 11. The hell? I'm confused. I have this album too, and it's a classic. It got bangers like Can't Stop the Rain and Sock It To Me, but I would not put it this high. Number 4? I swear, they love overrating the shit out of Missy Elliott. Missy is a legend, but they love overrating the crap out of her. I would not put this album so high. Let's go to the top 3. Public Enemy. It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Yes, this is definitely a top 3 album. And I have this album too. It has songs like Bring the Noise and my favorite, Don't Believe the Hype, and Rebel Without a Pause. Yes, it's definitely a top 3 album. This album was released on my auntie's birthday 35 years ago. Definitely. Big ups to Public Enemy. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill number 2? Wow. I didn't expect this album to be this high. And this is another album that I have right here. This album came out the same day as Jail Felony, What You Gonna Do, and Exhibit 40 Days and 40 Nights. And I also have those 2 albums. 25 years since this album came out, Lauryn Hill was the first female hip-hop artist to have a diamond album. The first female hip-hop artist to go diamond with this album. This is a classic. But I wouldn't put it in the top 2. I'll at least put it in the top 10. Let's see what's number 1. My Birthday Twin, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly. It's kind of disrespectful putting a Kendrick album at number